The quantum pulse. Maya Patel's fingers danced across her keyboard, lines of code flowing onto the screen in an intricate digital ballet. The clock on her desk blinked 3:47 a.m., but time held little meaning in the fluorescent-lit cocoon of Quantum Horizons R&D lab. For the past 72 hours, she had been chasing an elusive bug in the company's revolutionary quantum encryption algorithm, fueled by a potent cocktail of caffeine and determination. "Come on, you little glitch," Maya muttered, tucking a stray lock of jet-black hair behind her ear. "Show yourself." As if in response to her challenge, a series of error messages erupted across her monitor. Maya's heart raced, not with frustration but excitement. She was close, she could feel it. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Maya glanced up, momentarily distracted from her digital hunt. A low hum began to build, vibrating through the floor and up into her bones. The hum grew to a teeth-rattling crescendo, and then silence. For a heartbeat, the world seemed to hold its breath. Then, everything exploded into chaos. A blinding flash of purple-white light seared through the lab, accompanied by a thunderous crack that sent Maya tumbling from her chair. As she hit the ground, a wave of something washed over her. It felt like being dunked in ice water and struck by lightning simultaneously, every cell in her body screaming in protest. As quickly as it began, it was over. Maya lay on the floor, gasping, her entire body tingling with residual energy. The lab's emergency lights cast an eerie red glow over toppled equipment and shattered monitors. What the hell was that? She panted, struggling to her feet. Her mind raced through possibilities: earthquake, explosion, some kind of terrorist attack. None of them seemed to fit what she had just experienced. Maya staggered to the window, needing to see if the rest of Silicon Valley had been affected. The sight that greeted her stole her breath away. The night sky was alive with shimmering curtains of ethereal light, like the aurora borealis had suddenly decided to vacation in California. Purples, greens, and golds danced across the heavens, painting the cityscape below in alien hues. "Impossible," Maya whispered, pressing her hand against the cool glass. As she did, a spark of electricity passed between her fingers and the window, leaving a delicate fern-like pattern etched into its surface. Maya jerked her hand back, staring at her fingertips in disbelief. That wasn't possible. She wasn't wearing any special equipment, hadn't touched any power sources. The electricity had come from her. Before she could process this impossibility, her phone buzzed. Maya fished it from her pocket, surprised it still worked after whatever had just happened. The screen was filled with emergency alerts and missed calls from her family. She tapped on the most recent notification, a live news broadcast. Reports coming in from all over the globe, a visibly shaken newscaster was saying. At approximately 3:52 a.m. Pacific time, the entire planet was engulfed by what scientists are calling a quantum pulse of unknown origin. Communications and power grids have been disrupted worldwide, but that's not the most shocking development. We're receiving thousands of reports of people exhibiting unexplainable abilities in the wake of this event: telekinesis, spontaneous healing, control over electrical currents. The list goes on. We urge everyone to remain calm and stay in their homes until... Maya lowered the phone, her mind reeling. A global event, people developing powers. The electricity she had generated, it wasn't a fluke. Something fundamental had changed, not just for her, but for all of humanity. As if to underscore this new reality, the desk lamp beside her suddenly flickered to life, despite the building's power being completely out. Maya stared at it, a wild hypothesis forming. Hesitantly, she reached out her hand toward the lamp, focusing on the energy she had felt coursing through her body moments ago. The light dimmed and brightened in response to her gestures. With a bit more concentration, Maya was able to not just control its intensity, but draw the electricity out entirely, a crackling ball of energy coalescing above her palm. "Oh my God," she breathed, equal parts terrified and exhilarated. What are we becoming? The sound of shattering glass from the lab next door snapped Maya out of her reverie. Whatever was happening, whatever she had become, the world outside her window was descending into chaos. She needed to get home, to make sure her family was safe. Maya grabbed her bag, shoving her laptop and a few essential items inside. As she headed for the door, she caught sight of her reflection in a darkened monitor. For a moment, she hardly recognized herself. The woman staring back at her seemed older somehow, her eyes flickering with an inner light that hadn't been there before. "You can do this, Maya," she told her reflection firmly. "One step at a time. Get home. Check on your family. Then we'll figure out what the hell is going on." With a deep breath, Maya stepped out into the hallway. The emergency lights cast everything in a blood-red glow, turning familiar corridors into something alien and foreboding. In the distance, she could hear shouts and the sound of breaking glass. The world she had known was crumbling around her, but a new one was being born in its place. As Maya navigated the maze-like interior of Quantum Horizons, her newly awakened senses prickled with awareness. She could feel the latent electricity humming in the walls, in the very air around her. It was as if a veil had been lifted from her perception, revealing an unseen world of energy and possibility. She rounded a corner and came face to face with a security guard, his uniform disheveled and his eyes wild with panic. "You," he shouted, raising his flashlight like a weapon. "Stop right there." Maya raised her hands placatingly. "It's okay," she said, trying to keep her voice calm and steady. "I'm Maya Patel, from R&D. I'm just trying to get home." The guard's flashlight beam wavered. You're one of them, aren't you? One of the changed ones." A chill ran down Maya's spine. Yous and them. The divide was already forming, barely an hour after the pulse. "I don't know what I am," she answered honestly. "But I'm not a threat. I just want to make sure my family is safe." For a long moment, the guard said nothing. Then slowly, he lowered his flashlight. "My wife," he said, his voice cracking. "When it happened, she started floating, just rose right off the ground. I couldn't help her." Maya's heart ached for the man. How many others were out there, scared and confused by abilities they never asked for? "I'm so sorry," she said softly. "Look, why don't we try to get out of here together? It's not safe to stay." The guard nodded, some of the wild panic leaving his eyes. Yeah, okay. I'm Derek, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Derek." Maya managed a small smile. "Now let's." Her words were cut off by a deafening roar from outside. Both Maya and Derek rushed to the nearest window, peering out into the chaotic night. What they saw defied belief. A massive, shimmering dome of energy was forming over the city, its edges crackling with the same unearthly light that still danced in the sky. As they watched, objects, cars, debris, even people, began to rise from the ground, drawn upward by some inexplicable force. "My God," Derek whispered. "What is that?" Maya shook her head, her scientific mind struggling to process the impossibility before her. "I don't know, but we need to get underground." Now, they sprinted for the stairs, the building groaning and creaking around them as the strange anti-gravity effect intensified. Maya's mind raced. If she could manipulate electricity, was it possible to create some kind of shield, to ground them against whatever force was trying to lift them skyward? As they burst into the basement parking garage, Maya saw her theory put to the test. A woman was crouched in the corner, her hands pressed against the concrete floor. Visible waves of energy pulsed from her palms, creating a bubble of normalcy amidst the chaos. Small objects floated at the edge of her influence, but within it, everything remained firmly grounded. "Over there," Maya shouted, pointing. She and Derek made a mad dash for the woman's protective bubble. As they crossed its threshold, Maya felt a wave of relief as her feet planted firmly on the ground. "Thank you," she gasped to the woman. That's incredible, what you're doing." The woman looked up, her face a mask of concentration and fear. "I don't know how long I can hold it," she said through gritted teeth. It's getting stronger. Maya nodded, her mind already racing ahead. Okay, we need to think. This has to be connected to the pulse, to whatever changed us. If we can understand it, maybe we can stop it, or at least protect ourselves. Derek looked at her incredulously. You want to study this? Now? Knowledge is power, Maya replied, her fingers already flying over her phone's screen, pulling up every scrap of information she could find about the pulse and its aftermath. And right now, we need all the power we can get. As Maya delved into the flood of data, a pattern began to emerge. Reports of gravitational anomalies were concentrated in major population centers, growing stronger with each passing minute. It was as if the pulse had not only changed people, but had fundamentally altered the laws of physics themselves. I think I got something, Maya announced, her eyes never leaving her screen. The anti-gravity effect seems to be radiating out from specific points, like ripples in a pond. If we can locate the source in our area, we might be able to shut it down, the woman holding their protective bubble finished. I'm Zara, by the way, structural engineer. Or I was before this. Maya looked up, a spark of hope igniting in her chest. Zara, your ability. Can you sense the forces at work here? The structural integrity of our surroundings. Zara closed her eyes, her brow furrowing in concentration. I think so. It's like I can feel the stress points, the flow of energy through the building, the ground beneath us. And there's something else, something pulling. Can you trace it? Find where it's strongest. Zara was quiet for a long moment, her hands trembling with effort. Finally, her eyes snapped open. There, she pointed to the far corner of the garage. It's coming from down there, but deeper, like it's underground. Maya's mind raced. Underground, a secret lab. Some kind of government experiment gone wrong. Whatever it was their best lead. Oh right, she said, standing up. We need to get down there. Derek, is there access to the lower levels from here? The security guard nodded. Maintenance tunnels. They run all through the tech sector. But it's a maze down there, and with the power out. I can help with that, Maya said, summoning a ball of electrical energy to hover above her palm. Zara, can you maintain a smaller field around us as we move? Zara nodded, sweat beading on her forehead. I think so, but we'll have to stay close. Then let's go, Maya said, her voice filled with a confidence she didn't entirely feel. Whatever's causing this, whatever changed us, the answers are down there, and we're going to find them. As they made their way to the maintenance access, Maya couldn't help but marvel at how quickly their little group had come together. 3 strangers, thrust into an impossible situation, each bringing their own unique strengths to bear. It was a microcosm of humanity's potential, she realized. When faced with the unknown, they didn't crumble. They adapted, they cooperated, they rose to the challenge. The access hatch creaked open, revealing a yawning darkness below. Maya took a deep breath, the crackling energy in her hand casting strange shadows on the walls. Ready? She asked her companions. Derek and Zara nodded, their faces set with determination. Then let's go save the world, Maya said, and took her first step into the unknown. They sprinted for the stairs, the building groaning and creaking around them as the strange anti-gravity effect intensified. Maya's mind raced. If she could manipulate electricity, was it possible to create some kind of shield? To ground them against whatever force was trying to lift them skyward. As they burst into the basement parking garage, Maya saw her theory put to the test. A woman was crouched in the corner, her hands pressed against the concrete floor. Visible waves of energy pulsed from her palms, creating a bubble of normalcy amidst the chaos. Small objects floated at the edge of her influence, but within it, everything remained firmly grounded. Over there, Maya shouted, pointing. She and Derek made a mad dash for the woman's protective bubble. As they crossed its threshold, Maya felt a wave of relief as her feet planted firmly on the ground. Thank you, she gasped to the woman. That's incredible, what you're doing. The woman looked up, her face a mask of concentration and fear. "I don't know how long I can hold it," she said through gritted teeth. "It's getting stronger." Maya nodded, her mind already racing ahead. "Okay, we need to think. This has to be connected to the pulse, to whatever changed us. If we can understand it, maybe we can stop it, or at least protect ourselves." Derek looked at her incredulously. "You want to study this? Now?" "Knowledge is power," Maya replied, her fingers already flying over her phone's screen, pulling up every scrap of information she could find about the pulse and its aftermath. "And right now, we need all the power we can get." As Maya delved into the flood of data, a pattern began to emerge. Reports of gravitational anomalies were concentrated in major population centers, growing stronger with each passing minute. It was as if the pulse had not only changed people, but had fundamentally altered the laws of physics themselves. "I think I've got something," Maya announced, her eyes never leaving her screen. "The anti-gravity effect seems to be radiating out from specific points, like ripples in a pond. If we can locate the source in our area, we might be able to shut it down," the woman holding their protective bubble finished. "I'm Zara, by the way, structural engineer, or I was before this." Maya looked up, a spark of hope igniting in her chest. "Zara, your ability. Can you sense the forces at work here? The structural integrity of our surroundings?" Zara closed her eyes, her brow furrowing in concentration. I think so. It's like I can feel the stress points, the flow of energy through the building, the ground beneath us. And there's something else, something pulling. Can you trace it? Find where it's strongest?" Zara was quiet for a long moment, her hands trembling with effort. Finally, her eyes snapped open. "There," she pointed to the far corner of the garage. "It's coming from down there, but deeper, like it's underground." Maya's mind raced. Underground, a secret lab, some kind of government experiment gone wrong. Whatever it was their best lead. "Oh right," she said, standing up. "We need to get down there. Derek, is there access to the lower levels from here?" The security guard nodded. "Maintenance tunnels. They run all through the tech sector. But it's a maze down there, and with the power out—" "I can help with that," Maya said, summoning a ball of electrical energy to hover above her palm. "Zara, can you maintain a smaller field around us as we move?" Zara nodded, sweat beading on her forehead. "I think so, but we'll have to stay close." "Then let's go," Maya said, her voice filled with a confidence she didn't entirely feel. "Whatever's causing this, whatever changed us, the answers are down there, and we're going to find them." As they made their way to the maintenance access, Maya couldn't help but marvel at how quickly their little group had come together. 3 strangers, thrust into an impossible situation, each bringing their own unique strengths to bear. It was a microcosm of humanity's potential, she realized. When faced with the unknown, they didn't crumble. They adapted, they cooperated, they rose to the challenge. The access hatch creaked open, revealing a yawning darkness below. Maya took a deep breath, the crackling energy in her hand casting strange shadows on the walls. "Ready?" she asked her companions. Derek and Zara nodded, their faces set with determination. "Then let's go save the world," Maya said, and took her first step into the unknown. The Galactic Summit. The sky erupted in a dazzling display of light and color, far outshining the fading auroras of the quantum pulse. Maya Patel, still catching her breath from the harrowing escape from the underground lab, stared up in awe as a massive ship materialized above San Francisco Bay. "Oh my God," Derek whispered, his security guard training forgotten in the face of the impossible. "Is that—" "An alien spaceship," Zara finished, her voice a mix of fear and wonder. "It has to be." The ship was unlike anything human imagination had conceived. It seemed to shift and flow, its surface a kaleidoscope of iridescent patterns that hurt the eyes to look at directly. As it descended, a hush fell over the city, millions holding their breath in anticipation. Maya's phone buzzed, A priority alert from the hastily assembled Global Crisis Response Team. Her eyes widened as she read the message. "They're calling for me," she said, disbelief evident in her voice. "Apparently, my work on quantum encryption makes me uniquely qualified to assist in first contact." Derek and Zara exchanged glances. "You can't be serious," Derek said. "You're an IT specialist, not a diplomat." Maya squared her shoulders, electricity crackling at her fingertips as her nerves threatened to overwhelm her. "Maybe not, but I'm what Earth's got right now. And after what we've been through, I have to try." 48 whirlwind hours later, Maya found herself aboard a hypersonic transport, streaking towards the hastily prepared summit location in neutral Switzerland. Her mind raced, trying to process the flood of information she'd been given in hurried briefings. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Concordat, a federation of spacefaring civilizations spanning a significant portion of the Milky Way. They had been observing Earth for centuries, waiting for humanity to reach a certain technological threshold. The quantum pulse, it seemed, had been that threshold, and then some. As the transport began its descent, Maya caught her first glimpse of the summit venue. The entire area was abuzz with activity. Military personnel, scientists, and diplomats from every nation hurried about, their differences temporarily set aside in the face of this monumental event. A stern-faced woman in a crisp suit approached as Maya disembarked. "Miss Patel, I'm Amanda Chen, your liaison for the summit. Follow me, please. We don't have much time." Maya jogged to keep up with Amanda's brisk pace. "Time for what, exactly? I still don't understand why I'm here." Amanda's expression softened slightly. "Because you're one of the few people on Earth who might be able to understand their technology. The encryption protocols they're using for communication. They're quantum-based, like your work. And after your experience in Silicon Valley, well, let's just say you have a unique perspective." They entered a cavernous room filled with holographic displays and thrumming with nervous energy. At the center stood a group of beings that could only be the alien delegates. Maya's breath caught in her throat. The aliens were breathtakingly diverse. One seemed to be made entirely of shimmering crystal, fractal patterns swirling beneath its surface. Another was a mass of undulating tentacles, each tipped with what looked like miniature eyes. The third, Maya blinked, unsure what she was seeing correctly. The third alien appeared to be nothing more than a patch of empty space, the background behind it warped and distorted like a heat mirage. "Miss Patel," a voice resonated in her mind, bypassing her ears entirely. "We are pleased to meet you. We have much to discuss and very little time." Maya swallowed hard, squaring her shoulders. "I'm honored to be here. How can I help?" The crystalline being stepped forward, its voice a chiming melody. "Your world stands at a crossroads. The abilities awakened by the quantum pulse were not an accident, but a gift and a test. How humanity chooses to use this power will determine your place in the galactic community." "A test." Maya's mind reeled. "You're saying you caused the pulse." The tentacled alien's appendages writhed in what might have been agitation. "Not directly. We merely accelerated a natural process. Your species was on the verge of an evolutionary leap. We simply gave it a push." Maya's fists clenched, electricity arcing between her fingers. "Do you have any idea of the chaos you've caused? People are scared, confused. Some are already trying to use these powers to hurt others. Precisely why this summit is so crucial." The voice of the void-like alien echoed in her thoughts. "How your leaders choose to handle this situation will shape the course of your species for millennia to come." Before Maya could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the facility. Amanda burst into the room, her face pale. "We have a situation. Multiple hostiles with advanced weaponry have breached the perimeter. They're demanding we turn over the alien delegates." The room erupted into chaos. Security personnel rushed to escort the aliens to safety, while diplomats argued over the best course of action. Maya stood frozen, her mind racing. Who would attack a peace summit? And how did they get past the heavy security? Suddenly, a massive explosion rocked the building. The ceiling began to cave in, chunks of debris raining down on the panicked crowd. Without thinking, Maya thrust her hands upward, channeling every ounce of her newfound electrical power into a crackling dome of energy. The falling rubble disintegrated as it hit the field, showering them with harmless dust. Impressive, the crystalline alien chimed, its facets glittering with reflected energy. Perhaps there is hope for your species after all. Maya grit her teeth, struggling to maintain the shield. Less talking, more escaping, please. As they rushed towards the emergency exit, a horrifying realization dawned on Maya. The attackers weren't just after the aliens. They were targeting anyone exhibiting powers from the quantum pulse. This wasn't just an assault on the summit, it was the opening salvo of a war against the changed. They burst out into the crisp mountain air, only to find themselves surrounded by heavily armed soldiers in unfamiliar uniforms. Their leader, a man with a cybernetic eye and a cruel smirk, stepped forward. Well, he drawled. Looks like we caught ourselves the grand prize. Aliens and freaks, all in one neat package. Maya's mind raced, desperately searching for a way out. The aliens were too valuable to lose, and she couldn't bear the thought of her newfound abilities being used as a weapon. In that moment, she made a decision that would alter the course of human history. "You want power," she shouted, electricity arsing dramatically around her body. "I'll show you power." With a primal scream, Maya released every ounce of energy she had built up. A blinding flash erupted from her body, short-circuiting every piece of electronic equipment in a half-mile radius. The soldiers' weapons sparked and died, their cybernetic enhancements fritzing out. In the chaos that followed, Maya grabbed the nearest alien, the crystalline one, and ran. "We need to get you out of here," she panted. "Earth isn't ready for this. Not yet." The alien's crystalline surface rippled with what might have been amusement. "Perhaps not. But you, Maya Patel, have proven yourself ready for what comes next." Before Maya could ask what that meant, the world around them shimmered and faded. The last thing she saw was the shocked faces of the other summit attendees as she and the alien vanished into thin air. The celestial forge. Maya Patel's eyes snapped open, her heart racing as she gasped for breath. Gone was the crisp mountain air of the Swiss summit. Instead, she found herself floating in what appeared to be a vast, shimmering bubble of energy. Beyond its translucent surface, stars wheeled in unfamiliar patterns, casting an ethereal glow across her skin. "Welcome, Maya of Earth, to the heart of the Concordat," a melodious voice chimed. The crystalline alien materialized beside her, its facets refracting starlight in dazzling patterns. Where are we?" Maya managed, her voice barely a whisper. "The edge of what your people would call the Andromeda Galaxy," the alien replied, as casually as if discussing the weather. "But our destination lies just ahead." As if on cue, the bubble of energy began to move. Maya's jaw dropped as a colossal structure came into view, dwarfing even the scale of the alien ship she'd seen on Earth. It was a vast ring, easily the size of a small planet, comprised of interlocking geometric shapes that seemed to shift and reconfigure even as she watched. "Behold," the alien's voice resonated with pride, "the celestial forge." Maya's scientific mind struggled to comprehend what she was seeing. What is it? A megastructure of immense power, created eons ago by a race long vanished from the cosmos. It is capable of reshaping reality itself, and it may be the key to saving not just your world, but countless others. Before Maya could process this revelation, alarms began to blare throughout the energy bubble. The crystalline alien's surface rippled with what Maya now recognized as concern. "We are not alone," it chimed urgently. "The Void Reavers have found us." The bubble's surface shimmered, and Maya gasped as she saw what lay beyond. A fleet of ominous, pitch-black ships was rapidly approaching, their holes seeming to devour the very light around them. "Who are they?" Maya asked, electricity crackling instinctively at her fingertips. "A species consumed by the desire for power," the alien replied grimly. "They seek to claim the forge for themselves, to remake the universe in their image of darkness and entropy." The bubble accelerated, streaking towards the massive ring structure. But the Void Reaver ships were gaining, tendrils of inky blackness reaching out to ensnare them. "Maya," the crystalline being's voice took on an urgent tone, "the power within you, the gift of the quantum pulse, it is more than you know. Here, in proximity to the forge, you can evolve it further. You must, if we are to survive." Maya's mind reeled, but she nodded, closing her eyes and focusing on the energy thrumming through her body. She thought of the lives at stake, on Earth and now apparently across the cosmos. She thought of the wonder and terror of the past few days, of the responsibility thrust upon her. And then something clicked. Maya's eyes flew open, now glowing with an inner light. Electricity no longer merely crackled at her fingertips, it flowed around her in complex, fractal patterns, responding to her thoughts as much as her movements. She could feel the energy of the bubble they traveled in, could sense the vast power emanating from the forge itself. With a gesture, she reached out beyond their protective sphere. Lances of lightning, far more focused and intense than anything she'd managed on Earth, struck out at the pursuing Void Reaver ships. Where her energy touched their dark holes, cascading explosions of light erupted. "Remarkable," the crystalline alien chimed in awe. "You've tapped into the quantum field itself. Perhaps the Forerunners were right about humanity's potential after all." Maya barely heard the words, lost in the exhilaration and terror of her newfound power. She felt as if she could reshape the very fabric of space-time, and the thought terrified her as much as it thrilled her. Their bubble of energy finally reached the celestial forge, slipping through an opening that appeared in its ever-shifting surface. Maya's senses were overwhelmed by the sheer scale and complexity of the structure's interior. Vast chambers, filled with swirling energy, corridors that seemed to bend back on themselves in impossible ways, and at the core, a blinding light that called to something deep within her. "The heart of the forge," the crystalline being explained as they hurtled towards the light. "It's tied to the fundamental forces of the universe itself. With it, we can undo the damage the Void Reavers have done to countless worlds, perhaps even reverse the entropy of the cosmos itself." A violent shudder ran through the structure. Maya didn't need to ask to know that the Void Reavers had breached the outer defenses. Time was running out. They arrived at a vast circular chamber, dominating which was a swirling vortex of energy that hurt to look at directly. Surrounding it were countless crystalline structures, not unlike Maya's alien companion. "The interface," the alien explained quickly. "It requires a being of immense power to activate. Power like that which now flows through you, Maya of Earth." Maya approached the vortex, feeling the pull of its energy, but doubt gnawed at her. "Why me? Why humanity? We're so young compared to your Concordat, so prone to conflict and misunderstanding." The crystalline being's voice softened, "Because despite that youth, despite those flaws, your species possesses something rare in the cosmos: adaptability, creativity, the power to evolve rapidly in the face of challenges. The quantum pulse merely accelerated what was already within you." The chamber shook again, more violently this time. In the distance, Maya could hear the sounds of battle, energy weapons, and stranger, more terrifying noises. "They're here," she said, her voice barely a whisper. The alien's crystalline surface rippled with determination. "Then we have no more time for doubt. Maya of Earth, you must choose. Will you take this power, this responsibility, and help us forge a new future for the cosmos?" Maya looked at her hands, crackling with energy beyond her wildest dreams. She thought of Earth, of the chaos and wonder the quantum pulse had brought, of the infinite possibilities that lay before her, and the terrible consequences should she fail. With a deep breath, she stepped towards the vortex. "I choose to fight," she said, her voice growing stronger with each word. "For Earth, for the Concordat, for every being that calls this universe home." As Maya reached out to touch the swirling energy, time seemed to slow. She saw the void reavers burst into the chamber, their forms writhing masses of shadow and malevolence. She saw her crystalline companion, and its kin moved to hold them back, buying her these precious seconds. And then, as her fingers made contact with the heart of the forge, everything changed. Maya Potel ceased to be merely human. In that moment, she became a conduit for the fundamental forces of the universe itself. Energy coursed through her, rewriting her very being on a quantum level. She saw the past, the present, and a myriad of possible futures all at once. With a thought, she reached out across the cosmos. She felt the void reaver's ships crumble, their dark energy dissipating like mist in the morning sun. She sensed Earth, her home, and extended a protective barrier around it, shielding it from the wars and wonders of the greater galaxy until humanity was truly ready. And then, pushing her new powers to their limit, Maya did what the forge was truly built for. She began to heal the cosmic tapestry, undoing eons of entropy and destruction. Dead worlds sprang back to life. Dying stars were rekindled. Entire civilizations, long lost to the ravages of time and conflict, found themselves restored. As the wave of renewal spread across the universe, Maya felt her consciousness expanding with it. She was no longer just Maya Patel, IT specialist from Earth. She had become something more, a guardian of cosmic balance, a force for creation and renewal. The light faded, and Maya found herself once more in her physical form, standing in the now quiet chamber of the forge. The void reavers were gone, banished to the darkest corners of the cosmos. Her crystalline companion approached, its facets gleaming with what she now recognized as joy. "It is done," Maya said, her voice resonating with newfound power and understanding. "But this is only the beginning, isn't it?" The alien's chiming laugh filled the chamber. "Indeed, Maya of Earth, indeed it is. The universe is vast, and there is much work to be done. Are you ready for what comes next?" Maya smiled, electricity dancing in her eyes as she gazed out at the infinite possibilities that lay before her. "Bring it on," she said. "Let's forge a future worth fighting for." The temporal gambit. Maya Patel's consciousness drifted through the quantum foam of reality, her being suffused with the power of the celestial forge. She had become a guardian of cosmic balance, a force for renewal across the vast expanse of space and time. Yet, even as she marveled at the wonders of the universe, a disquieting sensation began to gnaw at the edges of her awareness. Something was wrong. Terribly, fundamentally wrong. Maya focused her newfound senses, peering into the intricate tapestry of reality. What she saw chilled her to her very core. Cracks were forming in the fabric of space-time, spreading like a cancer across multiple timelines. And at the heart of each fracture, she sensed a familiar energy signature, Earth. With a thought, Maya coalesced her form back in the chamber of the celestial forge. Her crystalline alien companion was waiting, its facets dim with concern. "You sensed it too," the alien chimed, its voice heavy with foreboding. Maya nodded, her eyes flickering with arcs of temporal energy. "The timelines, they're collapsing. But how? Why?" The alien's form rippled in what Maya now recognized as a sigh. "It is an unintended consequence of your ascension, I fear. The power you wielded to renew the cosmos, it sent shockwaves through time itself. In some timelines, that power fell into the wrong hands." Images flashed through Maya's mind. Alternate Earths racked by war, tyranny, and unimaginable destruction. In each, she saw twisted versions of herself, corrupted by the very power she now wielded. "The paradox plague," the alien continued. "A cascading temporal anomaly that threatens to unravel the entire multiverse. Even the celestial forge cannot simply erase it without potentially destroying all of reality." Maya's mind raced, grappling with the enormity of the threat. Then we need to address the root cause, she said, determination hardening her voice. We need to go back to Earth, to the moment of the quantum pulse, and ensure that the power is channeled correctly in every significant timeline. The crystalline being chimed in surprise. Such a plan, it's never been attempted. The dangers of cross-temporal contamination alone are less than the danger of all reality unraveling, Maya finished. She paused, a wry smile crossing her face. Besides, who better to confront my alternate selves than, well, me? And so began the most daring mission in the history of the cosmos. Using the celestial forge as an anchor point, Maya reached out across the fracturing timelines. She located key moments, crucial divergence points where a single decision had spun a timeline towards salvation or damnation. From each of these timelines, she plucked a version of herself, or rather, invited them to join her cause. Some came willingly, having seen the destruction wrought by misuse of their power. Others had to be convinced, or in a few cases, subdued and brought against their will. Soon, the chamber of the forge was filled with a dizzying array of Mayas. There was Maya the Techno-Queen, her body a seamless blend of flesh and machine, who had united Earth under a benevolent but authoritarian rule. Beside her stood Warlord Maya, scarred and bitter, who had led humanity on a crusade of vengeance against alien oppressors. Dr. Maya, who had rejected the power of the pulse to pursue a cure through pure science, eyed her alternates warily. Cosmic Maya, who had become one with the fundamental forces of the universe, existed as a shimmering outline of pure energy. My sisters, Maya addressed her assembled selves, her voice resonating with power and purpose. You've seen the cracks spreading through reality. You know the stakes. We must heal the damage we've inadvertently caused and ensure that the power of the quantum pulse is guided towards its true purpose in every significant timeline. The plan was audacious, dangerous, and their only hope. Using the celestial forge as a cosmic fulcrum, they would journey back through Earth's history, visiting key moments in multiple timelines simultaneously. At each point, they would work to nudge events towards a better outcome, all while avoiding the catastrophic consequences of overlapping time streams. Their first stop, the dawn of human civilization. In timeline after timeline, they witnessed the birth of agriculture, the rise of the first cities. They subtly guided key figures, ensuring that the seeds of compassion and cooperation were planted alongside those of ambition and progress. In ancient Egypt, they thwarted a time-traveling warlord's attempt to conquer the known world with futuristic weapons. In Rome, they saved the Library of Alexandria from burning, preserving knowledge that would accelerate human development across multiple timelines. As they journeyed forward through history, the challenges grew more complex. During the Industrial Revolution, they had to delicately balance technological progress against environmental protection, knowing that the fate of countless future Earths hung in the balance. World wars were nudged towards swifter resolutions or averted entirely. The space race was accelerated in some timelines, tempered in others where unchecked expansion threatened cosmic balance. Throughout their journey, Maya and her alternates grew and changed. Warlord Maya, witnessing the peace and prosperity of gentler timelines, felt her rage and bitterness begin to soften. Techno-Queen Maya, confronted with the value of human unpredictability, learned to loosen her grip on absolute control. But as they approached the present day, the moment of the quantum pulse, resistance grew fiercer. Twisted versions of Maya, drunk on power and unwilling to relinquish their control, fought back with everything they had. It all came to a head in a ravaged timeline where a version of Maya had fully embraced the darkest potential of her powers. This dark Maya had reshaped the Earth into a nightmare realm, a fusion of technology and eldritch energy that hurt the eyes to look upon. As the multiverse itself quaked around them, Maya and her allies faced off against this ultimate expression of her own potential for evil. The battle raged across multiple planes of existence, each Maya using her unique abilities in concert with the others. Techno-Queen Maya unleashed swarms of nanobots that disrupted Dark Maya's control over her twisted domain. Warlord Maya, her tactical brilliance honed by countless battles, coordinated their efforts with brutal efficiency. Dr. Maya worked to unravel the scientific principles behind Dark Maya's power, looking for weaknesses to exploit. At the heart of the conflict, Maya herself clashed directly with her dark counterpart. As they grappled, both physically and across dimensions, Maya saw the pain and fear that drove her alternate's actions. "It doesn't have to be this way," Maya shouted over the roar of collapsing realities. "We have the power to heal, to renew. Why choose destruction?" Dark Maya snarled, her form writhing with chaotic energy. "Because the universe is cruel, uncaring. Only through domination can we ensure our survival." In that moment, Maya understood. Every version of herself, from the most noble to the most corrupted, was driven by the same fundamental desire: to protect, to secure a future for humanity. They had simply chosen different paths towards that goal. With this realization came clarity. Maya ceased fighting and instead opened herself fully to her dark counterpart. She shared every experience, every revelation she had gained on her cosmic journey. She showed Dark Maya the beauty of a multiverse in balance, the infinite potential of a humanity guided towards its best nature. For a moment that stretched into eternity, the two Mayas stood linked, the fate of all reality hanging in the balance. And then, with a cry of anguish and release, Dark Maya let go. The twisted energy she had wielded to reshape her world flowed into Maya, not to be destroyed, but transformed. As Dark Maya's realm began to crumble, Maya and her remaining alternates channeled their combined power through the celestial forge. They reached out across every timeline, every alternate Earth, to the precise moment of the quantum pulse. With infinite care and immeasurable power, they reshaped the pulse itself. Instead of a chaotic burst of change, it became a guiding wave of potential. In every timeline, it would awaken the best in humanity, fostering growth, wisdom, and a deep connection to the cosmos. As the new quantum pulse radiated outward, healing the shattered timelines, Maya felt her alternate selves begin to fade. Their mission complete, they were returning to their own restored realities. Each left Maya with a final gift: their unique perspectives, their hard-earned wisdom, integrated into her very being. Maya found herself once more in the chamber of the celestial forge, but she was no longer the same woman who had begun this journey. She had become something more, a synthesis of infinite potential, a guardian not just of one universe, but of all possible Earths. The crystalline alien approached, its facets gleaming with awe. "You've done it," it chimed. "The paradox plague is cured. The multiverse is stabilized. But the cost?" Maya smiled, her eyes reflecting the birth and death of stars. "Was worth it," she said softly. "I am all the Mayas, and none of them. I am humanity's potential given form." She turned her gaze outward, towards the infinite expanse of the healed cosmos. "And my journey is far from over. There are wonders waiting to be discovered, civilizations to meet and learn from. The celestial forge is not just a tool for renewal, but a stepping stone to humanity's true destiny among the stars." With a thought, Maya reshaped her form into a being of pure energy and possibility. "Watch over Earth," she told her alien companion. "Guide them gently. When they're ready, I'll be waiting." And with that, Maya Patel, once an innate specialist, now a cosmic force for balance and renewal, streaked out into the infinite possibilities of the multiverse, her story far from over. The cosmic revolution. The fabric of space rippled like water as Maya Patel, cosmic guardian and synthesis of infinite potential, materialized in Earth's orbit. Her form, a swirling vortex of energy and stardust, coalesced into a more human shape as she gazed down at her home planet. What she saw made her ethereal heart sink. Earth, once a vibrant blue marble, now pulsed with an artificial, sickly green glow. Massive orbital structures blotted out entire continents, that architecture alien and oppressive. This was not the future she had envisioned when she reshaped the quantum pulse. What happened here? Maya whispered, her voice carrying across the vacuum of space. As if in answer, a shimmering hologram appeared before her. It was her old friend, the crystalline alien, but its once brilliant facets were now dull and cracked. Maya, it chimed weakly, your absence. It created a power vacuum. The galactic concordat, corrupted, Earth and countless other worlds, under the heel of the cosmic imperium. Maya's form flared with righteous anger, stars being born and dying in her eyes. How long was I gone? From your perspective, mere moments. For the rest of us, millennia. The implications hit Maya like a supernova. In her journey across time and space to save reality itself, she had left her own time vulnerable. The power she had hoped would elevate humanity had instead made Earth a target. I have to fix this, Maya declared, her voice resonating with cosmic power. Careful, the hologram warned. The Imperium's reach is vast. Their technology, it can dampen even your godlike powers. You must be subtle, strategic. Maya nodded, already formulating a plan. With a thought, she transformed her appearance, taking on the guise of an unremarkable human woman. It was time to rediscover the Earth she had left behind and ignite the spark of revolution. Over the next few months, Maya traveled the globe in secret, witnessing firsthand the oppression of the cosmic imperium. Humans toiled in vast factories, their labor fueling the imperium's endless expansion across the stars. Those who showed signs of supernatural abilities, the legacy of her reshaped quantum pulse, were taken away, never to be seen again. But amid the despair, Maya found hope. In hidden enclaves and secret meetings, she discovered pockets of resistance. Humans and sympathetic aliens working together, using a hybrid of earthly ingenuity and alien technology to fight back against their oppressors. Maya revealed her true nature to these rebels, becoming a symbol of hope and a wellspring of cosmic knowledge. She taught them to harness the latent energy of the quantum pulse, awakening powers that had lain dormant for generations. As word of the resistance spread, Maya expanded her vision beyond Earth. Using her cosmic awareness, she reached out to other subjugated worlds across the galaxy. She found kindred spirits among the outcasts and forgotten species of the universe, those deemed too weak or strange to be of use to the Imperium. A hive mind of gas giant dwellers whose individual members could possess technology, a species of living crystals that could store and manipulate vast amounts of data. Energy beings who could travel through solar flares, carrying messages faster than any Imperium ship. Maya united them all, forming an alliance unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. Each species contributed their unique abilities and perspectives, creating battle strategies that defied conventional logic. The Imperium, grown complacent in its eons of unchallenged rule, never saw the revolution coming. It began with small acts of sabotage, communication relays mysteriously failing, supply ships veering off course. But soon, entire star systems were rising up against their oppressors. The Imperium's once unstoppable armadas found themselves outmaneuvered by fleets that seemed to appear and disappear at will. At the heart of it all was Maya, a cosmic conductor orchestrating a galaxy-wide symphony of rebellion. She flitted from battlefield to battlefield, her powers no longer godlike but focused, tempered by human intuition and the wisdom of 1,000 civilizations. The conflict came to a head in a massive space battle above Earth's orbit. The sky burned with the light of 1,000 suns as Imperium dreadnoughts clashed with the ragtag fleet of the Revolution. Humans flew side by side with aliens, their ships dancing through debris fields with impossible grace. Maya sowed through the chaos, her body a comet of pure energy. She faced off against the supreme overlord of the Imperium, a being of cold logic and unfathomable technological power. Their battle raged across multiple dimensions, each trying to outmaneuver the other on a cosmic scale. Why do you persist? The Overlord's voice boomed across space and time. Order is necessary for the survival of the universe. Individuality breeds chaos. Maya's response came not in words, but in a burst of pure emotion and memory. She shared the beauty of human creativity, the strength found in diversity, the power of love and friendship that had driven her across time and space to save reality itself. For a moment, the Overlord hesitated, its cold logic confronted with the warmth of human experience. In that moment of weakness, the combined forces of the revolution struck. Empyrean ships fell from the sky like dying stars. Across the galaxy, oppressed worlds threw off their shackles. As the dust of battle settled, Maya stood before the leaders of 100 worlds. The time had come to forge a new galactic society, one built on mutual respect and the celebration of diversity. "We've won our freedom," Maya addressed the assembled beings, her voice carrying to every corner of the cosmos. "But the real work begins now. We have the chance to build something beautiful, a civilization that draws strength from our differences rather than fearing them." She turned her gaze to the battered but unbroken Earth. Humanity's journey to the stars was delayed, but not defeated. We will take our place in the cosmos not as conquerors, but as innovators, mediators, and friends to all peaceful species. As cheers erupted across the galaxy, Maya allowed herself a moment of reflection. She had started this journey as an 8 specialist, became a cosmic god, and now found her true calling as a bridge between worlds. The universe, she realized, would always need both the cosmic and the human perspective. With a smile that outshone the stars, Maya looked to the infinite horizon of space. "Our next adventure," she said to no one and everyone, "is just beginning." The revolution was won, but the evolution of the cosmos was eternal. And Maya Patel, once a simple human, now a cosmic legend, would be there to guide it every step of the way. The multiversal nexus. Maya Patel, the once human 8 specialist turned cosmic revolutionary, stood at the heart of the newly forged Galactic Alliance. The great space battle was won, oppression overthrown, and a new era of cooperation between countless species had begun. Yet, as she gazed into the swerving vortex of a nearby nebula, an unsettling feeling gnawed at her consciousness. Something was wrong, not just with this universe, but with the very fabric of reality itself. As if summoned by her thoughts, a shimmering portal tore open the space before her. Through it stepped a being that both was and wasn't Maya, a version of herself from another timeline, her form a constantly shifting blend of energy and matter. "You feel it too, don't you?" the alternate Maya said, her voice echoing with the weight of countless realities. The imbalance, the fraying of the cosmic tapestry. Maya nodded, her own form beginning to shimmer with barely contained power. "What's causing it?" "Us," the alternate replied simply. "Every version of Maya Patel across the multiverse who has reached this level of cosmic awareness. Our very existence is causing reality to collapse in on itself." The implications hit Maya like a supernova. In saving their respective universes, in ascending to these godlike states, they had become too much for reality to bear. The multiverse itself was buckling under the weight of their collective power. "Then what do we do?" Maya asked, already dreading the answer. The alternate Maya's form rippled with grim determination. "We go to the multiversal nexus. We face judgment, and we make an impossible choice." With a shared nod of understanding, the 2 Mayas stepped through the portal. What followed was a journey beyond imagination, beyond the limits of what even their cosmic minds could fully comprehend. They traveled through layers of reality, each universe they passed through stranger than the last. In one, thoughts manifested as physical objects. In another, time flowed backwards. They witnessed realities where the fundamental constants of physics were wildly different, spawning life and civilizations beyond earthly imagination. As they neared the multiversal nexus, they were joined by more and more alternate versions of themselves. Mayas who had become one with machine intelligence. Mayas who had merged with the biosphere of their entire planets. Mayas who existed as pure mathematical concepts. Finally, they arrived at the nexus itself, a swirling maelstrom of pure possibility at the heart of all creation. Here, at the very edge of existence, they found the Council waiting for them. The Council was composed of the first beings to achieve cosmic awareness in their respective universes. Ancient beyond measure, incomprehensible in their true forms, they appeared to the assembled Mayas as a panel of stern judges, each a fusion of all sapient species in their native realities. Maya petals of the multiverse, the Council spoke as one, their voice shaking the very foundations of reality. You stand accused of cosmic imbalance. Your ascensions, noble as their intentions were, threaten the stability of all creation. How do you plead? The Mayas looked at each other, a million silent conversations passing between them in an instant. It was our Maya who stepped forward to speak. We plead guilty, she said, her voice unwavering. But we also plead for understanding. Each of us acted to save our universes, to protect the trillions of lives within them. If that is a crime, then it is one we would commit again. A ripple passed through the Council. Your plea is noted, they responded. But intent does not negate consequence. The multiverse cannot sustain your collective existence. A choice must be made. The choice, when it was presented, was heartbreaking in its simplicity. The Mayas could collectively sacrifice their cosmic powers, returning to their original human forms and allowing the multiverse to rebalance itself. Or they could merge into a single being of unimaginable power, a new creator for a new multiverse, but at the cost of their individual identities and the universes they had fought so hard to protect. Chaos erupted among the assembled Mayas. Some argued passionately for sacrifice, unwilling to undo all the good they had accomplished. Others saw the potential in becoming a new creator, to shape reality from the ground up. The debate raged across multiple dimensions, each Maya presenting logarithmic probabilities and metaphysical proofs to support their positions. Through it all, our Maya remained silent, her mind racing. She thought of Earth, of the friends and allies she had made across the cosmos. She thought of the infinite potential of life, of the beauty and horror she had witnessed on her journey from 8 specialist to cosmic revolutionary. And then, in a moment of clarity that rang out across all realities, she had an idea. Wait, Maya's voice cut through the cosmic debate. There's another way. All eyes, human and unfathomably alien alike, turned to her. We've been thinking in absolutes, Maya continued, her form pulsing with excitement. All or nothing. But what if we could distribute our power across all sentient beings? Not just in our universes, but across the entire multiverse. A murmur ran through the assembled Mayas and the Council alike. Our Maya pressed on, her words painting a vision of a new cosmic order. Instead of godlike beings watching over creation, we become part of it. Every sentient species gets a fraction of our power, our understanding. We give them the tools to shape their own destinies, to become the protectors of their own realities. The Council leaned forward, intrigued. And how would this maintain cosmic balance? Maya's smile outshone supernovas, because it's not about balance, it's about growth, adaptation. We turn the multiverse itself into a living, evolving entity. Each species, each individual contributes to the whole. Unity through infinite diversity. The next moments were a flurry of cosmic calculations and metaphysical projections. Mayas from across the multiverse added their insights, refining and expanding the idea. The Council deliberated in a debate that lasted both an eternity and no time at all. Finally, they rendered their judgment. The plan is approved. What followed defied description in any human language. The assembled Mayas, along with the Council, began the monumental task of reshaping the very foundations of reality. They reached across dimensions, touched the consciousness of every sentient being across infinite universes. Maya felt herself stretched across realities, her essence merging with countless minds. She was everywhere and everywhen, a prehistoric human discovering fire, an alien child gazing at the stars, a machine intelligence awakening to true consciousness. As the process neared completion, Maya had one final moment of individual awareness. She saw the multiverse not as separate universes, but as a living, breathing, infinitely complex organism. And humanity, her own species, played a unique role, a nexus point of creativity, adaptability, and untapped potential that would help guide this new cosmic entity in its evolution. With a final burst of joy and wonder, Maya Patel surrendered her individual existence, becoming one with the cosmic tapestry she had helped to weave. In countless universes, sentient beings awoke to a new reality. They found themselves connected to something greater, empowered with a fraction of cosmic awareness. Stars burned brighter, thoughts raced quicker, and the boundaries between science, magic, and miracle began to blur. On Earth, a young girl solved an impossible mathematical equation, unlocking secrets of the universe. On a distant alien world, a philosopher discovered the key to faster-than-light travel through meditation. In the space between galaxies, newborn energy beings learned to weave the fabric of space-time. And somewhere, everywhere, in the depths of the living multiverse, the essence that was once Maya Patel smiled. The greatest adventure of all was just beginning. The end and the beginning.